Hello, everyone, and welcome you all to another chapter of the basic C++ tutorial. So now we are on our chapter number 3, where we are going to learn about variables. Okay, so in this particular chapter, we're going to learn how you are going to work with variables and what a variable is in C++ programming. So let's not waste much time and let's get started. So over here on my screen, as you guys can see, that I'm there in the same C++ file, which was main.cpp, and we're still working over here. So for that, what I can do is I will just come here and I will just delete all the content which I had inside. Okay. Let me just delete this and delete the first line of code as well. Okay. But over here, as I do want to print something, okay, so for that, I am going to keep these lines, okay, this count. Then I do have the double lower than sign. Then I do have the double quotation. Again, you have to close it down with the double less than sign, and then close it down with endl semicolon. Okay, so inside this, what I want to print is Matthew is a good friend of mine. Okay, and I'll just type, and he is 42 years old. Okay, and I'll just type Matthew loves to eat meats. Meats, even he is, or let me just go with 62, even he is 62 years old. Okay, so I'll just put out the full stop right over there. Okay, so let's come here. Is a good friend of mine. I'll just put out a comma, then I will just put out a full stop over here. So now if you just take a look, the whole thing says Matthew is a good friend of mine and he is 62 years old. Matthew loves to eat meats even he is 62 years old. So here now it just tells a small story about Matthew. But now let's say you are writing a story, and in that story the name of the main character is being changed. Or now from here, from these 4 lines, if you want to change the name Matthew to Mark, then what you need to do is eventually one by one you need to come here, and now you need to change Mark. You need to change it to Mark. Okay, and again you come here, you need to change it to Mark. Okay, so that is how you guys can check. But it was really easy for me to check because I had to change it in only 2 places. But think, for the one who uses hundreds or thousands of these things inside their line of code. Okay, so how does that work? Okay, so for that only we had created a variable. Okay, or variable is created. So variable, if I tell in simple word, variable is a container where you guys can store a lot kind of information. Okay, so to create a variable, what you guys can do is just click on enter, just click on enter, and I'll just go on top right over here. And first, we need to mention the type of data you're using. Okay, so there are mainly three types of data. One is integer, another one is string, and another one is a boolean integer or a boolean data type. Okay, so boolean is either true or either false. Okay, so from here, now what you need to do is you need to mention the data type. So if you are only working with numbers, or if you're working only with letters, in that case you need to mention that the data type is a string. Okay, so I will just take string, and after that you need to mention the name of this variable. Okay, so now the name of this variable, I will just put my friend. Okay, so I'll just name this particular variable as my friend, and after that I will just put on the equal to sign. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open the double quote, and I'm just going to fill in the name of John. Okay, and make sure to remember that after each line of code you have to put out a semicolon. Okay, so over here, as you guys can see, that I do have replaced it with John. Okay, but now how I am going to change it? So for that, what you need to do is you need to come here, and you need to come to this place, and what you can do is you can just type my friend, then I will just put the double sign. Now you can just give it out a space as well. Okay, and once you're over here, you need to check that this actually works. So over here, as you guys can see, this my friend actually works right over here, or loves. And the same way, I'm just gonna come here. Let's come to this place, and I'm just going to type my friend. Now I'll just give it out a space, then go with two less than sign. I'll just give it out a space. Double quote, loves to eat meats. Okay, so over here now again, if I just come here, as you guys can see, once it actually works. So now let's, as you guys can see, over here now I didn't mention any name at all. Okay, so I do have only the name of my variable. So my friend is the variable, but inside my variable I do have a name stored, which is John. Okay, so now Control S to save it, and let's click on build and run. Okay, so once I've clicked on build and run, you guys can see it says John is a good friend of mine, and he is 62 years of old. John loves to eat meats, even he is 62 years old. Okay, so I will just come here, and as you guys can see, I didn't put the name John anywhere inside this line of code. Okay, but you can actually put those inside this particular variable. Okay, or you guys can actually put all of those inside your line of codes. So now we have actually learned about one variable, but now we are going to do it in case of these years as well. Okay, so for that, let me just click on enter, and I have already told you that we do have a different data type. So about data type, we have a brief class. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to type numbers, or I'm going to put numbers. So for that, the data type I'm going to use is int. So as I will use whole numbers for age, I will just use int, which is integer. So from here, I will just type my underscore or my age. Then I'll just put equal to sign. I'll just give it a space. Let's go for double quote, or I don't have to go for double quote over here because I'm using an integer. Only in case of a word or a paragraph, you have to use the double quote, or for any kind of string, you have to use the double quote. But once I do have mentioned my data type as an integer, which is int, you guys can just put anything. Let's go with 74. Okay, but now I'm going to replace it. Okay, so for that, now first I'll just go to this 62 option over here. Now I will just close this down with this double quotation, and now I will just go on with double less than. I will just give it out a space, then I'll just write my underscore age dot int, as you guys can see. Now I'll just give it out a space. Now double less than, and I will just put on the double quote. So from here, let's come, and my age, let's give it out a space. Let's come here, Control C to copy, Control V over here. Even he is uh, my age, which is the variable years old, and I do have the double quote over here. So as you guys can see in this integer, my age is equal to 74. So what I can do is, you can just close this down with a semicolon as well. Okay, otherwise there is another way of how you can actually type your age over here is my age, then go with my age equal to 74, then I can just go with the semicolon. So Control S to save it, and now to check this as it works properly or not, inside this I should have John and 74 as numbers. So now let's go with build and run. And here, now it is working well and fine. So it says John is a good friend of mine and he's 74 years old. John loves to eat meats, even he's 74 years old. Okay, so I hope this particular class was clear on what a variable is, how you can just start typing a variable, how you can insert those variable inside your line of code. Okay, like if you do want to print, how you can do that. Okay, so a variable is like a container, which we have already known that how it is used and for what it is actually being used. So yeah, I hope this particular class was clear. So I hope to see you all in the next chapter. Till then, take care and goodbye, everyone.